So decorating, like Gary was talking about, decorating our life this holiday season is, there's always a tree, a Christmas tree, and trees very important. Not necessarily the Christmas tree, but the whole idea of the tree of life is important. As you see in our logo down here, I specifically asked. I didn't make the logo, but I asked for a few things, and one of the things was that there was a tree. That the tree of life was an important symbol that I wanted to have in our logo, because it talks about the interconnectedness of the planet from the roots all the way up through into the cosmos as the branches reach out. And of course, all of us who are the inhabitants in between. For life to be sustained, Mother Nature must be involved. That's why many times in the guided meditation, I sometimes will take us to this grounding cord idea, which grounds us to the planet that we are upon. Many times we just kind of float around in life and we don't ground ourselves to where we are, to our home, which is planet Earth. So the roots, of course, go down into the planet Earth, the roots of the tree, and the branches extend that life to form flowers or fruit, depending on the tree, and each one of those are unique, just like each one of us is unique, with our unique strengths and wisdom and love and beauty. And as the branches stretch out to the universe, we show that we all have the opportunity to stretch out. We all have the opportunity to reveal the divinity that is within each and every one of us. We have the opportunity when we reach out to commune with Spirit on purpose, in consciousness, intentionally, and explore wisdom and revelations, and to transform and transcend our lives. So you were talking about that you're just about to put up your tree. Have you bought it yet?
Yes.
It's purchased.
Standing there undecorated.
Standing undecorated. Is it still wound in the?
No.
Oh, okay, you got that part. So how many have done the tree yet? You're the only ones. We have, I think we switched to artificial trees, so, but we haven't done it yet. So how many of you at home have your tree up? I wanted to tell you a little bit about trees. Traditionally, trees, the Christmas tree, and for all of you who haven't put yours up yet, that's okay. Because traditionally, the trees are not supposed to go up till Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, yes.
Yes? Okay, some of you know
Yes.
that. The Jew doesn't know that. And then you have to remove it by January 5th. No, on January 5th. No, excuse me. The day after January 5th. It's very specific. Remove the day after January 25th, which is the 12th night, not the play. But there is similarities between 12th night, the play, of course, because that's probably why he entitled it, and 12th night, the ritual that goes with the removal of the Christmas tree. The 12th night is the eve of the Feast of Epiphany in Catholicism, and that's when servants usually dressed up as their masters. Men as women, women as men. There's a lot of revelry. That's actually what happens in the Shakespearean play Twelfth Night, if you weren't forced to read it too many times during junior high. There is a role reversal where a woman dresses up as a man, and then people fall in love with each other, and it's crazy fun on the 12th night. Also, there's a lot of revelry, even in the Catholic tradition. There was a little, on the 12th night, and that's probably why they had to wait the extra day to take the tree down, because you don't want to take the tree down, especially back then when they had candles on the tree. It was kind of dangerous, so you wanted to get over your revelry. But interestingly enough, that's also related, this 12th night celebration in Catholicism, to the Roman Saturnalia. And Saturnalia is a very festive Roman ritual and celebration where there's lots of booze and there's role reversals and the whole thing. So this whole 12th night thing is fascinating. So to have the tree up before December 24th was considered bad luck. So don't finish it yet. Now, of course, in this philosophy, we don't believe in luck, bad, good, or indifferent, so you're actually safe. Okay. So now I've been seeing people on social media, you know, with their Christmas trees already up, you know, as soon as, you know, we get sucked into that whole retail thing, you know, Thanksgiving's over, put the tree up. So I'm starting to see on social media people showing off their trees, and they're tall, and who has the tallest. They have a 6 foot, and I've been in houses where they have these 12-foot trees. It's amazing. I don't know how they even get it in the house other than decorate the darn thing. So they're full of lights, and Gary was talking about lights, and it's an interesting thing about lights. There's an estimated 150 million light sets sold in America every single year. Now that seems like a lot, but those of you who have lights know why, because sometimes, the hell with it, I'll just buy new ones because it's such a mess. 80 million homes are usually lit with these Christmas lights, and they consume 6% of the nation's electrical load each December. Now I want a show of hands, and you online can think about this yourself. How many boxes of tangled cords of lights do you have in your whatever basement or in your garage? It's amazing. Sometimes you get so careful and you do it this way or you do it in the proper cord way, and somehow in those 12 months they become a mess, even if you did it nicely. Maya Angelou wrote, "I've learned that you can tell a lot about a person by the way they handle these 3 things. A rainy day," which we have here in Los Angeles, lost luggage, which we probably have a lot in Los Angeles. I've had it done a few times myself, and tangled Christmas tree lights. So how we each deal with those 3 things, and especially today, Christmas tree lights, as people start pulling all that stuff out, really lets you get to know what a person is, what their perspective on life is, their patience, their humor about life. But like Gary was saying earlier, in decorating our lives, we must do it in the light. We must do it with our eyes wide open and our hearts wide open. There's a gentleman named Wilford Peterson, and he wrote for the Science of Mind magazine for 25 years. And he wrote, "Christmas is not in tinsel and lights and outward show. The secret lies in an inner glow. It's lighting a fire inside the heart, goodwill and joy, a vital part. It's higher thought and a greater plan. It's glorious dream in the soul of man." And of course he means mankind, humankind. Now I want to talk a little bit about the tree skirt. Now the tree skirt originally was intended to just be there to catch the falling needles from the tree, which seems like a very dry tree that you'd be losing needles, but that's all it was for. And it needed to be as wide as the tree, and now with artificial trees like we have in our house or will, skirts are just decorative, and all they do is cover the tree stand, even though they try to make the tree stands very colorful, but most people don't want to look at them. Now, the tree skirt has no spiritual purpose that I could find, and I looked to see, but it has one for the tree of life. Now, hold on, catch up with me here. It catches, now think of this, the tree skirt, we represent it as something that is below the tree of life, and the tree of life is what is extending us and our ideas to the universe. The tree skirt is similar to the law in that it is catching all of the thoughts and feelings and beliefs that we are dropping out of our brains and our hearts. And it catches those beliefs before they go up and around and through and over to the universe. It collects them so that the law can formulate and figure out the how of our manifestations. So when you think about it that way, the tree skirt does have a spiritual use during this holiday season. And if we think about it that way, versus just something to cover up that thing that keeps the tree up and moist usually, because there's usually a little water in there, it brings a little more to that tree because we connect it to not just this season, but all seasons in the tree of life. Now, like I was talking about, the stand is more than an apparatus to keep the tree up. Now, if you notice that my talk title today was the stand and the skirt and the lights, because I wanted to talk about decorating our life this month, and decorating our life this month has a lot to do with these holidays. So the stand is more than an apparatus to keep the tree up. It's the base to the whole operation. Without the stand, the tree, the life, and all it represents will fall. I'm sure your tree is kind of leaning on a wall or something, or in a corner. You maybe haven't put it quite in the stand yet. Until you put it in the stand, it's just there to fall over. It's just there to wave back and forth as the earth moves, or as the cat crawls up it or not. It's just there until we put it into the stand. So then that brings me to the question, when I speak and think about a stand, where do we stand? Where do each of us stand, and what are we standing for? So then as I was thinking about that, it reminded me of a dream I had. Have anyone heard this dream that I've had? I have spoken about it before, but it reminded me of that dream. And so I wanted to bring back that dream and talk about that dream, because it talks about where we stand. And I think that's something for us to think about with all the Christmas tree and the lights and the skirt and the stand holding up the tree. Where do we as a person and as a people stand? So I had this dream that I met the law. I had this dream that I met the law of cause and effect, or the law of attraction, or the law of manifestation. That law goes by many names. Now, I won't tell you what she looked like, the law, or what she was wearing, because that's my dream. You have your own dream. I met the law, and the law was taking me on this tour. And it was the tour of the universal warehouse, you might say, where everything that is manifested in our lives is housed. It's huge. It's as big as the universe. It makes the Amazon warehouse seem like the little hut in the back where your rake is and your lawnmower. So it was taking me on this tour, and we entered this huge area, right? And it had rows and rows of stuff just going on forever. You ever look at a mirror with a mirror behind you and how it looks like it goes on forever? That's what this looked like. Now, intellectually, I knew it really was going forever because it's the universe, so it just goes on forever and ever. So there's these rows and rows, and we were walking down, and suddenly I saw my name on a row. You know, like, have you ever been like in a law library and at the, or any library for that matter, that has rows of, there's always a little sign and, you know, tells you what's down this row, whether it's numbered or alphabetized or something like that. Well, anyway, this row had my name. And I said, hey, is this my stuff? What's going on? And she said, well, you know, whatever you want, whatever you require, whatever it is you have declared and believe in your life, it's all right here. Anything that you could imagine is all right here. All in this big long row, and this baby just was going just as far and along as all these rows and columns too. So it was just amazing. And then she said, all we're waiting is for you. All we're doing is waiting for you to reveal it in your life, in your brain, in your head, in your heart, in your gut. And as soon as that shows up, as soon as we hear that, and then, you know, this stuff that's in this row is going to show up in your life. And I'm like, that's cool. Look at that. It goes on forever and ever and ever, and I could have any of that anytime. Now, some of it you could see was, you know, stuff, things. But some of it was just kind of like colored energy. And I don't know specifically what that was, you know. Obviously, the stuff was very obvious, you know, what it was. Computers, cars, and, you know, stuff like that over the years. But some of it was energy, so those must have been like ideas or something like that. Maybe peace of mind at a certain time in my life, or something that I could grasp onto. It's just wild looking at all of that stuff. There's just boxes and labels, and so I start going down this row, and I noticed something that I had already received, and I turned to the law and I said to her, you know, I remember getting that, but it didn't really look as nice as that. And she said, well, that's because you were standing on the corner. And I'm like, what are you talking about, standing on the corner? I don't know what she said. Well, she said, well, when these things are delivered to you, you have to be on truth trail. And I said, truth trail? What are you talking about, truth trail? She said, yeah, when that was being delivered to you, that little thing there, you were standing on the corner of Truth Trail and Fear Avenue. And that being there, being at that corner, you know, colored, flavored, the receipt of that. You know, you were at Fear Avenue and Truth Trail, so you didn't get it quite as you saw it, because there was fear in there, fear of something. I'm like, huh, that's weird. Well, then I started continuing walking down my row, and I noticed some great things that have shown up in my life over the years, and it was really kind of exciting to see them, and, you know, they're still there. I could bring them into my life again. And then I noticed one that really had never happened so far, that has been in my mind, that I wanted in my life, that I've decided I required in my life and desired in my life. And I said to her, now, what happened to that? I wanted that. I still want that in my life. I'm standing on Truth Trail about this thing. I did treatment about this thing. I continuously work on this thing in my heart and in my soul and everything. And she said, no. I heard you. The law heard you. We were delivering that. But you weren't on Truth Trail at all. You, not even a bit. You were stuck standing on I don't deserve it drive. Now, if you're not on Truth Trail, it's not going to show up. And if you're standing on I don't deserve it drive, it's never going to show up. And I said, okay, but what about that? She said, don't even ask. You've been on Lack Lane about that, buddy. And when you're on Lack Lane, everything is tainted. Now, I tell you this story because I want us to dig in even deeper during this holiday season. It's a season, it's a very spiritual season. I know it's fun and all that, but we have to take some time. I have to take some time to sit and dig deeper about this season, what it represents, what the tree represents, where we stand in our lives, in our decisions about what we require to show up in our lives. Because when we don't, it shows up kind of the way we are. If we're mamby-pamby about it, it's going to show up sort of that way. If we're really standing right and right centered and going, this is what it's going to be. This is what's going to show up. Not how it's going to show up. Just the kind of the clear description of what is going to show up. Let the law figure out how it's going to show up. Who cares? If it's money, do you care whether you got a raise or won the lottery? Who cares? What showed up was X dollars. So let me encourage you to stand on Faith Freeway, Belief Boulevard, Spirit Street, wherever you want to stand if you can't stand on Truth Trail. Because the truth is that there is one mind and we are part of that mind, and that mind allows us, inspires us, imparts in us the power to reveal itself, to bust through, soar, and zoom, whatever, and bring into our lives, manifest into our lives, that which we desire, that's that which we decide needs to be in our lives. Because you see, UPS, the Universal Prosperity Service, they're going to deliver whatever it is going on in your mind, whatever it is you have decided is going to show up. And if you don't take the stand at the right address to get the right and perfect delivery this holiday season, UPS is going to deliver it somewhere else. Don't stand on the corner of, yeah, if it shows up, that would be nice. I really want this. And I'm not just talking about stuff. I'm talking about ideas, peace of mind, peace in the world, peace in our city. We have to stand centered like the tree, with water to moisten us in our ideas, and our arms outstretched, maybe not physically, but our ideas outstretched to the universe to allow them to pick it up. Stand on Truth Trail, stand on Spirit Street, stand on Faith Freeway, and allow that which you require, especially this season, to show up in your lives. Thank you so much. Namaste. Yeah. Thank you.